Hello again, YouTube. This is Derek at ScreamEagleAirsoft.com, and this is one of our know-it-alls. This is our know-it-all series, but it does not have anything to do with airsoft, handguns, or handgun accessories. This is really just me trying to educate some idiots out there about high beams. Okay, just recently I went on a trip to Louisiana, and on the way back it was dark. Okay, it was nighttime. Okay, we take the interstate, kind of goes this way and back up this way to our small little town of Clarksville, but there's this road right here that cuts through, and it is wooded. It is hilly, and you know the road's going all up and down and around like this, all the way up to, and then there's some straight, there's some little towns in there and whatever. But okay, I want to explain to some of you retards out there about your high beams. When I went on this trip, okay. This has been bugging me for years, okay? I don't know what it is, just little bitty, needles have pricked me about this. But this trip back, it was like a sledgehammer. It hit me in the forehead. So I wanted to this is just me venting, having some kind of venue to express my concern so that you idiots out there that have your high beams set wrong, or don't know any human, or and you don't have any courtesy to your fellow man, this is really directed at you retards. Okay. For those of you that this does not apply to, for those of you that have your high beams set correctly and that you are very considerate about your high beams, I appreciate you and I applaud you. Now let me talk about what I saw, what's going on, and if this applies to you, then, take it as a grain of salt, whatever you want to do. Hate me for saying it, or don't, but here it is. When you have you got your car, and you got your regular beams on, right? Because you use them every day, whenever. Your regular beams are actually pointed downward, not straight out. There are people that have their regular headlights in their front of their car pointing straight out. Well, for one thing, that does not help you see the road. What are you doing? You're driving. You're trying to see the road. You're trying to stay on the road. Now, I understand you don't want to hit a deer, or you don't want to hit an oncoming car that might have its lights out, whatever. You're going to have your beams down. And by hitting the ground, there is some ambient light that reflects, in effect, lights even further forward than if you had your light straight forward. People think that, you got to take your flashlight and aim it straight forward, your headlight straight. It's not correct. Shoot it down at an angle. Now, how do you do that? Some people ask. Drive your car about 15 feet from a wall. Not hard to do. You just pull up and there's a wall. On the top of your headlight, there's a little screw. You open the hood sometimes, there's a little screw right there on the top of it. You just screw it in or screw it up. The headlight goes up and down. Very simple. Super simple. Okay, well, you got to do one or the other, right? Okay, well, that's why you drive up to a wall. You adjust your headlights so they're just right. They're aiming down. Okay, so they should hit about 25 feet. No huge amount. They should be like 25, 30 feet in front of you is where they should be hitting. There's always, you got your intense light going this way, and then you got a little bit extra light going this way. So even though your high beam, or your regular beams, I'm talking regular beams, are aiming down like this, you're getting a little bit of light here. You with me? So far, so good. Okay, so if you haven't adjusted your lights, you're starting to lean into that you're an idiot. Okay. I'm sorry. This is just bugging me, and I gotta say this. The high beams. High beams is what's killing me. People have their beams straight out or not very low. And then when they go with the high beams, boom, right in my eyes. Why do you need to do that? You don't. Your high beam should also be slightly down, below eye level. I could be driving a truck and, I have a Jeep, okay? And my head's pretty high in this Jeep. Bam! Straight in my eye. It's killing me. Okay. So I'm driving along there, boom! Is that good for you? No, because I might hit you, and that's the whole reason why you have your high beams on anyway. It's to avoid an accident. So you're just causing an accident. Don't be an idiot. Okay. Whew, am I yelling? Yes! Okay. So adjust your high beams. So now they're not going straight out into somebody's eyes. They're not going parallel with the ground. That's not helping you. Have them go slightly down. Slightly down. You want it to hit the road in front of you. High beams are more intense, brighter lights. They do go a little bit higher than your normal beams already. So you don't need to have your normal beams shooting straight across and then your high beams hitting somebody in the face. Okay, that's only half of this story. Okay? The other half is people with no courtesy. Okay, that first part was just idiots. They don't know how to adjust their high beams. Or maybe I'm sorry, maybe they just never been told how to do it. Okay, that's possible. I can give you credit for that. Okay, maybe you just weren't ever told how to adjust your high beams. And you just bought the car from somebody, your high beams were set by this other idiot, okay, and you just were cool with it. You're just, and you turn your high beams on, everything's cool. Okay, when you get a car, or if you ever change your lights out, adjust where they're heading, okay? Adjust their aiming points. Okay, that's for all cars, no exceptions. Second half. Okay, here's the second half of my moan. Jerks. Okay, you're driving along. We're both. I got my high beams on. You got your high beams on. We're coming around a corner. We don't see each other. We don't. But when you have your high beams on, and the other person's got his high beams on, you can kind of see a light off in the distance, over the hill, around the corner, what have you. You can kind of see it. And you can kind of prepare for it. And if you're not, then you're not a very good driver. But, okay, we got this guy coming around. As soon as he comes into sight, he crests the hill, you crest the hill, you come around the corner. As soon as he comes into sight, turn your high beam off. Turn it off. Go to regular beams. Because what are you doing? You're blinding him. I don't want to blind him, so I turn my lights off. Because I don't want him to hit me. Because that's what I'm doing. If I blind him and he hits me, it's my fault. Okay. So you turn your high beams on or off. Okay, maybe the guy forgot. Maybe he didn't remember he had his high beams on. Maybe he's just brain dead. Okay, it's possible. I'm going to be honest. I've done it a few times, so I understand that. That's okay. So what does the other guy do? Flash his high beams a couple of times. Just pop, pop. Just give him a little nudge. And boom, boom, hey, you got your high beams on. At that point, that guy should be turning his high beams off. And if he doesn't, just put a big dick sticker on the side of his car. He's a dick. Okay. Jerk. He's an a-hole. Okay. Whew. Wow, I feel better getting that off my chest. Okay, I know nobody out there on YouTube's gonna search for this video. Nobody's gonna look for it. Nobody's gonna watch this video. But I had to put it on here because you guys with high beams that don't give a crap about other people, you guys but those of you that have your good set high beams, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you that are blinded by high beams, you know what I'm talking about. I thank you guys for coming out. The other guys, if you learned anything and you are planning on changing your high beams, I thank you for that, and thank you for coming out and checking out this video, and you all drive safely.